everyone. I'm Katie Daryl, and today we are at home and social with Jason Mraz. Jason, thank you for joining me.
Hey, thank you so very much. Thanks for having me. I'm going to light some incense for our hang.
Yeah, yes, because I was thinking it smelt a little funk, so thank you.
Yeah,
Oh,
I have
that's
cats.
me.
So,
So Jason, let me right now. Are you doing lunges? Are you stretching out? Are you totally preparing to go out on tour? What do you do to get in the right physical shape?
no one enjoys lunges, but I have been doing a few lunges. I enjoy roller skating. That's something I picked up during the pandemic, and lunges are very much required for this activity. So yeah, I've been doing a little bit of that. Still doing a little bit of yard work and farm work. We operate a small fruit farm here in Oceanside. But mostly, just picking up my guitar again and going through the lyrics and trying to imagine what kind of choreography we might be able to bring to this entertaining night of reggae music. So yeah, little bit of everything while also trying to tidy up the last minute house stuff before summer.
Now, obviously you are going out on tour. I think the tour kicks off on July 30th in Austin, which is such a great city.
Yep.
But you're sitting around, you said, and you're picking up your guitar and you're working through things. But then you have to switch it into the mode of there's 13 other people going to be on stage with you. So
That's right.
When you try something at home and it's just you alone, and then you get together with the guys and gals,
Yeah.
do you find that certain things that you thought in your head maybe don't work or do work better?
They always work better. Because when I'm alone, I can't fully realize. I can dream, I can try to imagine, but it's just so much better when other humans bring their talent, their energy, their ideas to it. And honestly, the trickiest part right now is we have an email thread going on around of like, what are people going to wear? That's the hardest part. That's something I cannot imagine. I can't imagine like putting clothes on somebody else. So that's what we're all trying to come together to figure out right now. What can we do to be
do you try to coordinate
unified?
outfits? Like, is there legit coordination going on, or?
I'm not a fashionista. I'm not that type of person to care, but I realize this is a big show. Yeah. There's a lot of us on stage. We should have a unified look. Are we wearing leisure suits? Are we wearing jumpsuits? Are we wearing pajamas? Are we wearing track suits? Are we wearing denim? What's the weather going to be like? Does anybody have any preferences?
Right? You need something that breathes.
I'm telling you, it's so much easier to compose and orchestrate music for 13 people. So much easier than trying to pick out t-shirt sizes.
All right. So this is the Look for the Good live tour. It kicks off July 30th in Austin. With going around the country and after so much experience being on the road, have you found that certain cities respond and have favorite songs different than other cities? Like, is the vibe in Pittsburgh different than Austin? And do they have a favorite song or B-side track that surprises you?
If I'm in Texas and I say the stars at night are big and bright, the entire audience will respond, deep in the heart of Texas. And that won't happen in Pittsburgh.
Unless they're huge Pee Wee Herman fans.
Exactly. That's true. You got me there. And I, too, am a big Pee Wee fan. I actually have a picture of Pee Wee in my studio. It's a big inspiration. I have the distinct pleasure of, as a performer, of witnessing geographical borders, political borders, all just melt away. When the music comes on, I get the pleasure of performing for humans. And it doesn't matter if I'm in Texas or if I'm in Korea, the same response happens. And people just love to be gathered to sing harmony, to groove to a same rhythm, to align with a message or a mood or a tone. And that's a really beautiful, beautiful experience. And it does make it hard for me to assume I know what Pittsburghians want versus Washington, D.C.rians. I don't know what you call those people who live in that town, or Koreans. So it's a pleasure, really, to have that experience of unified humanity.
Now, getting ready to head out on tour, you also have the Deluxe set to release and find at the merch booth. Tell me about this Deluxe set, because it's based off of the album that was released a year ago, but there's some bonus tracks, right?
That's right. So I made a reggae album last year. It's called Look for the Good, and it's out everywhere. And I knew that if I went and toured this and I was playing a reggae show, I should also include my catalog catalog. Let's see if I can visit my catalog through a reggae lens. And we went back and covered all kinds of songs in a reggae style and fashion, and decided we would also record most of those songs and release them again this summer as a part of a Look for the Good Deluxe. That way, our listeners could get a jump start on the new sound. Mm-hmm. So the deluxe version of Look for the Good has 6 additional tracks, 3 from the catalog and 3 brand new ones. Actually, I couldn't resist. That will be It's streaming now. And there's a new version of I'm Yours, which was traditionally a reggae song. So how do you improve that in reggae? You actually take the reggae out. We made that a soulful, smooth jam with a sexy sax solo. It's just delicious. There's a fun ska version of Lucky, performed with Emily King, who is a phenomenal singer-songwriter and performer. And it's an indicator of what our tour is going to be like. We're definitely going to be running reggae to the max on just about every song we play this summer. So it's a night of dancing, that's for sure.
Now, time out. I need to go back to this re-envision of I'm Yours, okay?
Yeah.
Like you said, this is a reggae favorite. This is a fan favorite. And now you're twisting it, putting in saxophone, which I don't think anyone will get upset about. But,
no.
I mean, there are some fans that, they buy their ticket because they want to hear that song because they had it at their wedding or whatever the memory is. And now you're going to flip it upside down.
That's exactly right.
What?
So imagine you got married to I'm Yours within the last 15 years. How old is I'm Yours? It's about 15 years old. It came out, gosh, wow, it's old. So imagine you got married to that song and that was your jam. And so those lyrics and that melody and that arrangement resonate with you very specifically. Well, we didn't change the lyrics. We didn't change the melody. We didn't change the arrangement. All we did was change the tempo and the groove. And I think if you did get married to it, this is an invitation to slow dance a little closer to your favorite song.
Your fans are happy and they are easy. I would imagine people don't get in the pit and really beat each other up, right? I mean, have you ever seen something go a little bit haywire that has thrown you off while you're up there on stage and you're like,
no,
that's not the vibe, dude. Who invited him?
No, that doesn't happen. I have a very... the security would say I have a very boring audience because they're just so nice. And I've been so blessed by smiling people who seem to really enjoy getting together and meeting each other out in the audience. And my hecklers are only complimentary. There's nobody that ever shuts me down with heckling. It's amazing. I don't know what I've done, but I've invited people to kind of bring their best selves to our concert. So I'm very, very grateful for that.
Jason, can we talk about guacamole recipes?
Absolutely.
For those of you just tuning in, I'm Katie Daryl. He's Jason Mraz. This is At Home and Social for Access TV. Jason, has obviously a very successful music career, but also you have an avocado tree farm.
Yes, I do. I bought a little avocado ranch in 2004 after The Remedy, after I was touring around on that first album. And I realized I should live out in the country instead of the city of Los Angeles. So moved down to San Diego and bought a little ranch. Unbeknownst to me, it was all avocado trees. And I thought, that's lovely. But the problem with that, or I should say the beauty within that, is that these trees were planted by a farmer before I was even born. So now I'm inheriting his work. And it's really up to me to prune those trees and feed those trees if I want those trees to continue to produce avocados. So I really fell in love with that process. And by 2010, I transitioned the farm to organic. And by 2015, I was really starting to plant more trees, interplant trees amongst the avocados to create a layered agricultural system to help cover the earth, help regenerate this beautiful earth, some carbon drawdown in that process. And I turned it into a small farm business. It's called Mraz Family Farms. And we sell our avocados. We do little gift boxes. But most excitingly is we now grow coffee. So we have our own coffee available through Fringe, F-R-I-N-J. That's our coffee, Fringe. Because we're on the fringe of the tropics. Nobody said it could be done in California. We're on the fringe of the industry because we're doing things new. And our founder's his name is Jay. So we Fringe with an F-R-I-N-J. Very
I'm dead
exciting.
serious. Do you have a
Yeah.
guacamole recipe?
And now, yes, guacamole. I think the easiest way and the most fun way is just
Yeah.
to cut your guacamole in half. I mean, your avocado in half. Stir it up within the pit itself because the little half is just a perfect little serving size, and then the pit itself is a nice little bowl.
Yeah.
And then the avo will take on whatever flavor you like. So if you love chocolate, put some cacao powder on there with a little agave or maple syrup and stir that up, and you have a chocolate pudding. Or put some garlic powder and olive oil up in there and go to Italia. Some fresh pico de gallo, some fresh salsa up in there and dip your chips right out of it. It's like the avo will take on whatever taste you give it. One of my favorites is bananas and honey. Just mush it all up with the avocado and yum, yum.
And babies love it too. For those of you tuning in, I know we will talk more about music, but you have such an amazing career that I want to pivot because you've got so much on your roster, including cafes. Cafe Gratitude is here in Los Angeles, and this is a great organic and vegan, or is it just organic? Remind me. It's vegan.
Yeah, it's plant-based. It's a plant-based restaurant.
I know how musicians suffered during 2020. Let's talk about the cafe and seeing, your other heart's work suffer. What was it like, hearing about the staff and worrying about your restaurants as well as your music? I suppose very stressful.
Very stressful because in the music industry and in the restaurant industry, people were losing their jobs. People were losing their regular gigs that they rely on. And Cafe Gratitude really stepped up to the plate and created a multi-weekly, several times a week, created a meal program and a grocery program for all their employees. So while the restaurant was forced to close for a little while, they used the restaurant and their food supply chain as a hub to feed over 200 people and their families each week with our food supply. So that is a testament to how gratitude really shows up. Gratitude has always considered itself a school of transformation disguised as a health food restaurant. And that's really what's going on behind the scenes is really caring for the people that work there so that they're seen, heard, recognized, and they can enjoy their job. Because we all know that everybody who has a job also has a mission in life that they're pursuing to get somewhere. Maybe they're an actor, maybe they're a musician, but at the moment they're waiting tables. So it's important to Cafe Gratitude to recognize our wait staff, our cook staff, in their vision, in their mission, so that while they're working here, they're still being uplifted and working towards their life goal. And so during a pandemic, when their jobs were in danger, it really proved that Cafe Gratitude is the real deal because they continue to show up and feed our family.
I feel like this transition is almost too good to pass up. A couple years ago, you did the Broadway show Waitress. There we go, boom. What did you learn about stage
gynecology? So I played a gynecologist on Broadway and who was behaving badly, but not to his fault. Just kind of got caught up in a little love situation with a patient who was in need, who kind of forced herself upon him and kind of woke him up, changed his life. It was written by Sarah Bareilles and Jesse Nelson, and it's a phenomenal show based on the movie Waitress. If it ever comes back, I highly, highly recommend it. It's as adorable as your favorite sitcom, with beautiful music, tons and tons of laughter. When I was doing it, I did it for about 4 months. It felt like I was doing Saturday Night Live 8 times a week because the script was so hilarious and the audiences were just eating it up. And I would do it all over again. It was a dream. In fact, it felt like I was on vacation because when I'm in my typical music role, I'm wondering, okay, what hat am I going to wear? What songs am I going to play? Who is Jason Mraz today? But when I'm on Broadway, I'm Dr. Pomander, and I leave Jason Mraz in the dressing room. And it's not about me. It's about the script. It's about the show. It's about the music. And I'm there as a performer giving myself to the ensemble. And I loved that because I got to just hang all my narcissism up, put it aside, and go work for hire. And it felt so good. It was a dream come true.
Well, let's be narcissistic right now and let's look at your stuff, man. I want
Hey.
to go ahead and play Rock and Tell. This is like show and tell, but with music memorabilia. Jason Mraz, what do you got for me?
Okay. Speaking of Waitress, when I left the theater, they gave me a stethoscope, right? A commemorative stethoscope with over 100,000 patients served. That's about how many tickets were sold during my run. And the best part is the audience could write these guest checks. And this audience member said, I need to schedule an appointment with the doctor. Hey. And these are all beautiful notes written by audience members that are just complimentary. So whenever I'm down, I can just pull off a guest check and say, hey, 10 times in concert, 1 time on Broadway, you are amazing. I love it.
Well done.
I just love this. So this hangs up in the bathroom, of course, because
As
you
all
always
good
need reading
memorabilia
material in the
should.
bathroom. You can just pull a couple of these down, and they're like self-help mantras.
Have you ever noticed one that's gone missing? Like, has someone ever stolen one?
You know, I don't know, but I assume that if they did, they really needed it, or they used it as toilet paper. Who knows?
And then they really needed it.
They really needed it. So I'm okay with that. I have no attachment. I can't take anything with me to the afterlife. So, you know, I'm enjoying it now while it's here. But okay, the next thing I'd like to show you is I have saved every hotel key since I was in high school. So, you know, and when I started, they were actually keys. You know, when I first started touring,
like you stole metal.
they gave us metal keys, but then it shifted to plastic keys. And I'm gonna have to pick this up, but
Oh man.
I have this like display case filled with keys, and there's a couple of other random things. Like there's an old grocery store key, but there it is. There's all my keys. It weighs a lot, and it has a little drop slot in the top. So every time I come home from tour, I just drop the key into the thing, and it's halfway full. I don't know why. I don't know what I'm doing with all these keys. I think maybe one day I'll build like a house of cards or a hotel of cards, and maybe it'll be an art installation. Or I'm going to shingle my roof with it, or I'll build birdhouses in my retirement, and they'll be made out of hotel keys. A bird hotel. I'm going to be making bird hotels in my retirement. So
Speaking of hotels, what amenity do you like the most? Like when you open up the door and you see X, Y, or Z, and you go, yeah, I like this room.
yeah, the do not disturb sign. I love it. Just do not bother me. Don't make up my room. Don't come in. I'm gonna do my thing. Yeah, I don't know. A window that opens, that would be amazing. Back in the day, they all opened, but I guess some people screwed it up for the rest of us. So
Yep. Gotta blame those guys.
yeah, I'm easy. It doesn't take much.
All right, before we wrap up, what other items do you got?
Okay. I thought about all the many awards that I've received, and there are many, and I'm so grateful to be acknowledged for things. But this one I think is just really unique, and it's from my friends at Headcount. And over the last 15 years, our fans, through concert attendance and clicking some of the links we've shared, we have registered over 1 million voters. And I just think that is so freaking cool because that's how we change the world. You know, at least that's how we get involved and engage. And so I was really touched to know that, you know, it's really added up through the years. So when to all the artists out there, whatever you're passionate about, whatever you're pursuing, you know, that it works little by little. It works. The message you convey, it does connect. And so this little award here, while humble and means very little, you know, but it also means a lot to know that we engaged a lot of people to just raise their voice and go be heard. So I love that.
Before I close it out, I see a guitar in the background. Is that anything significant? Is that the one that you write up the new tunes with?
Yes, I've had this guitar since 2004. I recorded the Mr. A to Z album with it, and it's been my homie ever since. Um, I pretty much recorded everything on We Sing, We Dance, We Steal Things on this guitar. And I now actually replicate this guitar. I have a signature line with Taylor. It's pretty much identical, except I did some Zodiac cosmetics to the face of it. But the wood and the style, everything is the same. I just love this guitar. And much like Willie Nelson's, the hole in Willie Nelson's guitar, I'm getting there. And that's due to a really bad habit of keeping my pinky finger right here when I play. And through the years, it's just worn out. But she likes it.
Does this go out on the tour with you, or is this a "don't leave the house, I'm afraid to lose it" guitar?
It does come out. Not all tours. It just depends on where we're going, how I'm feeling. Again, in this interview, I said, I can't take it with me to the afterlife. I'm not attached. So sometimes I go out on tour with that. I'm like, I only want this guitar. This is the only guitar I want to play. I won't switch guitars at all. And then other tours, I say, you know what? Something's telling me I'm just going to leave this one at home, and I'm going to test out a few other guitars. I have a backup of this should anything happen, but this is really the one. This is just, it's got a lot of love, a lot of wear and tear. It's coming up on 20 years old. So these Taylors, while it's such a new guitar company, they are finally reaching that nice aged feel. That guitar only gets better as it gets older.
Jason, thank you so much for hanging out today. The tour, it's Look for the Good Live. People can get tickets now. The deluxe album, Look for the Good, is available. And if you just want to go back just to the original Look for the Good, they can get their hands on that as well, right?
That's right. But you might as well go for the Look for the Good Deluxe, because you still get the original 12, but you get plus 6 very, very interesting new songs. I'm Yours, Be Where Your Feet Are. That's one of my favorite tunes. And it's my advice to everyone out there when you're going, what should I do? Just be where your feet are and enjoy the ride.
Well, I enjoyed the ride today talking to you. Thanks so much, Jason. It was
my
a pleasure.
pleasure. Thanks for the chat.
Hey there. Thanks for watching Access TV. Subscribe, follow, like, and do all the good stuff. And make sure you leave a comment below. I don't know. Just let us know what your favorite Access TV show is, or who your favorite bands are, and what artists you're into, or just say hi, man. I'd like to be told hi. We love hearing from you. That's the point, all right? Keep it coming.